coming to you from Spa Women's Ministry. Thank you once again for clicking onto the channel. It is so good to see you another week together to connect with you. And I want to encourage you today in the area of think before you speak. Think before you speak, because words are powerful. And if our thoughts are not in line with God's word, we will not speak what his word says, and we'll be calling everything into our lives that's negative. And we want to be able to speak positive even when we're not hearing what we want to hear or seeing what we want to see. We have to choose to think positive. We have to think before we speak. And I want to read this verse to you in Matthew 16:19 that I was so blessed by. It says, I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. And I want to encourage you for a moment, because I was so blessed by this verse, because God is letting us know the power that our words have, but that we are the ones that decide the type of words that we release into our atmosphere. But isn't it so difficult to release positive words when we're going through a difficult moment? It is very difficult to think before we speak, because in that moment, in our emotional state, we speak words out of our mouth according to how we feel and according to what we see. But in that moment, we have to be careful what we are releasing, because we know that we are praying about certain things, but then we get up off our knees and we say contrary to what we prayed, or we'll say something contrary to what we read in God's word. We have to think before we speak. It's vital if we're going to see the results that we want to see. So I want to give you some tips on thinking before you speak. I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. First of all, you have to pause. When you're going through a difficult moment, pause before you allow your mouth to just speak all types of words. And when you pause, ask yourself these 3 questions. What am I thinking about? Why am I thinking what I'm thinking? And what result is it going to bring me? When we ask ourselves these 3 questions, it gives us a reason to pause and now to think before we speak. If we do that, we will find that our words will change, because we want to see something positive in a negative situation. That's why God said he gave us the keys to loose on earth, it'll be loosed in heaven. The keys to bound on earth, it will be bound in heaven. That's up to you and me. So let us think before we speak, because nothing is released from heaven until we first call it forth on earth. I'm going to say that again. Nothing is released from heaven until first we call it forth on earth. We have the power to do so. Let us think before we speak. I pray you are blessed. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe. I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. Let me know if you've been blessed by these videos. My intent here is to only encourage your heart, to help you to push ahead in these days that we live in, when it's so difficult. In spite of what we see, in spite of what we hear, let us think before we speak and continue to push ahead towards our purpose and whatever God has for us. I don't know about you, but I want it all. God bless you.